People, welcome back to Premzy TV. Arsenal 3, Chelsea 1, and a pretty good performance from the boys today. We're going to dive into it. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts around the game. I can't stay for too long, people, so I'm going to try to pack it in as much as I can because 10:30, best of the rest is on Saeed's channel. So make sure you do go and check that out as well. But look, let's just get straight into the game. I think the boys played very well today. I think Arteta rejigged it around, made a few substitutions from the start of the game, and brought in a different starting lineup. And to be fair, this is what I've been crying out for the last few weeks. When players are not in form, players don't really look at it, take them out, put somebody else in, and see what they can do. And he did that today. It might be too little too late, but all round, good performance, fast start from the lads. And we managed to get the goals early and get 3 of them before halftime. I think it's before 35 minutes. So it was decent, but it's just disappointing that these performances are coming now when I wanted to see them when the pressure was on. But it looks like when the pressure's off, we can find these kind of performances. And this is what we need to eradicate from this Arsenal team. We need to start learning how to deal with pressure, because today, Chelsea, they've had the pants pulled down pretty much all season. Yeah, I expect us to win this game, just like I did with West Ham and just like I did with Southampton as well. But we come through today. We're back on top of the table. It might be, like I said, a little bit too little too late, but we're still winning. For me, we have to win the rest of our games now. It doesn't look like we're going to win the league, but we need to be moving into the next half of the season. The beginning of next season with some positive vibes. And hopefully players from around the world, young, promising talents, can look at Arsenal like, yep, they're the club that I want to be at, because we need to build on from this season. Granted, Shaka today, unbelievable. Martin Odegaard, very, very good. But this is it. I want to see Odegaard performing like this in big games or in games where the pressure's on. I want to see him dictating stuff like he did today. Because from the start of the game, absolutely brilliant. I will get into some of the comments a little bit later on. Just going to give you my thoughts on the game quickly. It's one of them situations where even though we've won, and I'm happy that we've won, I always want us to win. It's just, it feels disappointing because where have these performances been? Where have these performances been over the last couple of games when it's really mattered? Now, like I said, the pressure's off. It looks like the boys are playing free-flowing football, more direct. You get me? More purpose to them. Yeah, they're going to be hurt and they're going to be down over the last couple of weeks of what's happened to the club, pretty much falling into second place and City being now the front runners. But it's good to see that passion. It's good to see that desire that the boys have got, that they want to make things right. But we need to learn how to deal with the pressure. We definitely need to learn how to deal with the pressure. Let's just touch on Chelsea first of all, because it's a mad thing what's going on to Chelsea. Yeah, I think Aubameyang, Frank Lampard wanted to bring him in to give him that lift and give the teammates that lift to say, yeah, he's played at Arsenal before. We'll get him in there. Did he not learn from last time out what happened? You get me? Man are getting hooked at half time. They're taking Aubameyang at half time. At the start of the game, he looked it hurt. He looked it hurt. You could see he was missing the club. And it is what it is. Mudryk came on, got booed from the Arsenal fans, just like what I want to see. You get me? I can't stand what he done with the Arsenal. He needed that kind of reception. You get me? It's not all right being that close to sign to us, twerking for man, and then not signing for us in the end. You get me? So big up to the Arsenal fans that give him that reception. It's mad. People are saying in the comments, where was it when it really matters? 100% agree with you. This is exactly what I'm saying. We need these kind of performances when it really matters. Now, pressure has lifted. It looks like the boys are turning up, and we can't afford to see that next season. We have to make sure that we can cope with these pressure situations. Get me? Debut for Kivior. To be fair, he didn't do too bad, but is he going to be a centre-back that could potentially win us the title or help us win the title? I'm not too sure. For me, I need to see more of him. He needs to do something spectacular in order for me to think he can fit into this Arsenal team. But to be fair, he played on the right side of centre-back, being a left-footed player, and he did okay. He didn't do anything too bad. I think in the first couple of seconds of the game, he mistimed a header. And at that point, I was thinking, oh, what's going on? What is absolutely going on here? But look, anything can happen in the Premier League. Nothing's impossible just yet, even though in my personal opinion, the title's gone. you never know. City could end up dropping a couple points here and there, and we could be there right to the end, right to the last day. So I'm just praying to God, you get me, that this can happen, even though, like I said, realistically, we got to look at it and think we kind of fucked this whole situation up. But that's it. I think Tierney, for me, he needs to start getting game time, Kieran Tierney. He needs to start getting game time. I did a video on the channel a couple of days ago regarding Kieran Tierney's future and the rumours that have been surrounding KT regarding him potentially moving to Manchester City, which for me is an absolute no-no. Zinchenko, defensively, he's not that sound. He gives you some good bits going forward, but defensively, he's not that sound. 3-0 down. Chelsea managed to get back in the game. Lapse of concentration from Zinchenko, and Zinchenko it's seeming to be him off recent weeks. You get me, that are making the mistakes or not tracking that player in order to stop that goal. And Kieran Tierney, for me, somebody that could come in and be a proper left back, somebody that is a traditional left back and knows his fucking job, which is to defend. I'd be absolutely gutted if he ends up leaving Arsenal Football Club. We need to knock that rumour on its head straight away. You get me? But Granit Xhaka, what I touch on him, I think Granit Xhaka, unbelievable. Couple assists as well. He was being direct with his passing. Jorginho and his partnership in middle looked it good. And that's the one thing I got to give Arteta credit for as well today, because Thomas Partey against Man City had a stinker and he dropped him. I don't know whether it was because of the Chelsea relationship that Jorginho's had and maybe he wanted to start him in that game. I don't know, but it worked well. You get me? That partnership between Jorginho and Granit Xhaka today worked a treat. I'm glad to see Trossard come on. And for me, I would have probably left Saka on the bench and brought Trossard on and kept Martinelli in the team, because Martinelli, leading goal scorer for us, I don't think he's really put too much of a foot wrong. However, Arteta didn't do that, and I don't think Saka had a bad game today. I've been on the back of Saka recently, and I think Saka, he's just been off it. He hasn't looked the same kind of player that we've seen from the start of the season. But today, I thought he was decent. He was getting himself into good positions, getting himself in behind the defence of Chelsea, and he was trying to make things happen. He was involved in the game a lot more than what we've seen over the last couple of weeks, and I'm happy about that. But it's a bit of a mad thing what's going on with Chelsea, though. I'll tell you that much. They're on 39 points. They're not even hit that 40 point mark. Earlier on in the season, on the Best of the Rest on Saeed's show, which we're going to be on at 10:30. Make sure you do go in and tune in over there as well. Lewis was saying to me, 40 points, you get me? We need safety. That's where we need to be. But it looks like these men are in a mess. I can't see Chelsea coming back from this anytime fast. They've appointed Frank Lampard, and my man's lost every single game. Every single game he's lost. It's a mad thing. But we're going to have to wait and see what happens with them. But it's just good that Arsenal can get back to winning ways, especially against a London side in Chelsea, and the way that we've done it. The only criticism I have, we need to be stepping on people's necks. When it is 3-0, don't be scared to be more direct, have more of an impact going forward, and go and get the extra goals, because I couldn't see Chelsea getting back into this game at 3-0. You get me? I could only see it going 4, 5, 6, but them goals didn't come, and that is what's disappointing. You get me? I'm expecting to see Arsenal, when we've got teams by the neck, squeeze the life out of him. You get me? I want to see these score lines of 4, 5, 6, because when we could get that into our mentality, it'll only be good for the club. It'll only be good for seasons pushing forward, because no matter how hurt and upset we're feeling right now regarding the title and the situation surrounding it, we know the trajectory of Arsenal is going up. We know that these younger players are going to be a year older. We know that we're going to be recruiting. So we need to definitely make sure the mentality grows with the squad. We can't let these setbacks have a massive impact on the way we are and the way we think and the way we move. You get me? We need to all be together. We all need to be one and think and move in the right direction. Let's get some of the comments in as well, people. Big up to Zane. Miyasi, we are winning the league. City ain't no jaws. Oi, oi. I don't know about that, bro. I'm telling you, I need to get I need to get convinced a lot more if I think we're going to start winning the league again. I think it's well out of our hands. I personally can't see City dropping any more points. You get me? Fulham, it looked like they had a little bit of a difficult game against Fulham, but they managed to get over the line. And that's where the mentality and the experience comes into play. And unfortunately, that's something that we haven't got. If you've only just joined the stream now, I was talking about the pressure. When the pressure's on us, it seems like we kind of fade away a little bit. When there's no pressure, it looks like Arsenal could play the football and look good and have Ole football. It's a bit of a mad thing. I don't understand it, to be honest. Neil says, not a fan of Shaka, but was good with 3 assists. He was definitely today. I'm not going to lie. I think over the last couple of weeks, he hasn't been great. He hasn't been performing at the level we've seen him at this season. But today he had a very good game. When you're seeing Shaka doing no look passes, you know he's confident. You know what I mean? You know he's confident. Just get some more of your comments in. Premzy TV, where is it? Where it's at? Big up to yourself, Nishan. Good win, but a bit too late for the Premier League title, sadly. I'm totally in agreement with you. I think it's a little bit too little too late. And I keep banging on about it. Pretty much said it after West Ham, said it after Southampton. It's going to be a very difficult in order to go and actually go and clinch the title now from them positions dropping points. Big up yourself, my bro. Nicholas in the cut. Wilson in the cut as well. Big up yourself, your Premzy. Wilson in the house. It's a very tricky situation because we've won. I'm happy that we've won. But at the same time, I'm just frustrated that I didn't see this before. I'm frustrated that these performances are coming back when it seems to be out of our reach. You get me? Even though we're top of the table now, City got 2 games in hand, and you could pretty much guarantee that they're going to jump ahead of us because that's what City do. They have got that mentality. Just as much as you like to banter them, sometimes you got to look at it with a footballing perspective and be real with the whole situation. It's a mad thing. Missed the game, fam. And when I checked at halftime, I had no emotions to the score, no pressure. You know what? I was just literally relaying that off there. Is one of them. You can't help but cheer and be excited when your team's winning. But the whole comment section saying it, there's no pressure versus us, or we poo. So it's a mad thing. Buddy G in the cut. Nice to see Mudrick and Abba do nothing. Yeah, I think that's a good positive we could take out of it because Aubameyang, for me, there's no way he should have been going back to Chelsea. Definitely. He shouldn't have been going to Chelsea, especially leaving Arsenal and going to Barca. Then you don't go to Chelsea. It's just a no-no. I hate the fact that we take our foot off the gas when the game is comfortable. We stopped pressing, play and sat back a little in the second half. Could have been 5 or 6. 100% totally agree with you. That's exactly what I was saying. We need to be stepping on people's necks. We cannot be letting teams off lightly. Once we get that fear factor good and proper back into the club, yeah, half of the game's already won before you've even stepped out on the pitch. And for me, I think that's why Arsenal have done so well this season, because when teams have rocked up or we've turned up to different opposition, they're in their head mentally, they're thinking, right, this is a top Arsenal side here. It's going to be a very hard night. And mentally, they're already beaten. And that's something, if you're old enough to see the Invincibles or when Arsenal was winning trophies, you would know most teams were beaten before we even stepped on the pitch. And we were getting a little bit of that back this season, a little bit back. Then Liverpool comes. Fair enough. Is Liverpool. They could come back from 2 goals and they've drew 2-2. It is what it is. But then West Ham doing it 2 weeks consecutively, it's a no-no. And people are going to be looking at that and thinking, you know what? This Arsenal team can get at. You get me? If William Saliba's not in there, put the pressure on Rob Holding. They don't look as composed as they have been this season. And then before they're stepping out on the pitch, they've already got belief and inspiration that they can go out and do something. We need to get that fear factor back into the team where man are shitting themselves before they even step on that pitch. The moment we do that, that's the moment we start winning titles. Look at us. I'm not going to lie. I know there was a lot of Arsenal fans that were comfortable and confident playing Man City at the Etihad. Not for me, you get me? I was thinking, oh, this could potentially be embarrassing because I'm realistic and I know what happens before that game. If I'm a fan and I'm thinking, oh, it's not looking good here, just imagine how the players must be feeling. Yeah, they might be full of self-belief and confident, which they should be. But sometimes you got to look at it realistically. If a team's trajectory is flying and they're scoring goals, I think City scored 10, 11 goals in 3-4 games, you're going to be looking at it a bit worried. And the moment that mentality kicks in, that's when you start losing. So we need to get that back. Get 5, 6 goals, 7 goals. I can't remember the last time I've seen Arsenal beat a team 7-0, 8-0. I want to see them kind of score lines. And then that will start making me believe, you know what, this mentality is fully back, fully back, because we know how to then press on the neck. We can do that. I think we'll be all right. I did touch on Kiviar a little bit earlier on. Do you rate Kiviar? I'm not so sure about him. He looked a bit dodgy today. Yeah, he didn't really do anything too wrong today. He come in, played out of his position, played as the right-sided centre-back. Even though for me, I think if you're a centre-back, you should be able to play left or right. But, it's not his favoured position. At the start, he missed the header, which could have maybe caused a little bit of concern. I think he's just got to get some time, get some games under his belt, and then we could judge him better a little bit later on. But personally, from what I've seen of him so far, I think we could have done better in the transfer market, and that's just my God's honest truth. But like I said, time will tell in it. We've got to give these kind of players a little bit of time before we can start judging them too fast and too rash. John says, just got to pray, bro. 100%. Do you know what it is? A lot of Arsenal fans are deflated right about now. Yeah, we're happy that when the team wins and we cheer along with every goal. But on the whole grand scheme of things, when you're on the league 200 odd days and it's looking like it's fading and fading away, it's not a happy feeling. You get me? It's a bit deflating. Jamie says, if they had played like this against West Ham and Southampton, we'd be winning the league. Arsenal are so frustrating and a letdown. Definitely 100%, man. It is frustrating, but we got to get behind the boys. This is our team. We got to support them through the good times and the bad times. No matter what, I always give my opinion honestly. After every game, I'll give my opinion, whether that's criticizing players or praising players. But the moment they're on the pitch, the moment they're playing, I'm supporting them 110%. They're getting my full backing, and that's the job of a fan. But it's a mad thing. It's a mad thing. Conceding must be annoying for you. Like 100%, definitely annoying. You get me? The special one says, I like your DP there, Jose Mourinho with the title. But look, it is one of them. We're shipping too many goals, and that's been our downfall, especially towards the last back end of this season, the last 10 games. Without Saliba, we're just absolutely shocking at the back, in my personal opinion. Teams could get at us. The only positive today is Chelsea are being so shit this season. They haven't really given us a test. You get me? I think if we would have been tested at the back, I don't think we would have been as solid. And that's just my God's honest truth, because we can get at, people can get at us. 100% they can get at us. Premzy, do you watch NBA? Highest ticket sold tonight was 31k. You know what, bro? I don't really watch it. I used to play it every here and there on PlayStation back in the day, but I've never really been a big NBA fan. I'll be honest with you. More football and boxing, to be honest. Obviously, I boxed from when I was like 6 years old, all the way up until 19. I had a good amateur career, and sadly, I just had a bit of a bad shoulder injury. But yeah, always kept training in boxing. Boxing and football, they're my two sports, really. Premzy, when we took off Trossard, we lost control. We are clearly a better team when he's on. Why does Arteta not like him? Do you know what it is? I don't think Arteta don't like him. I think it's a little bit of weak management from Arteta. I think it's easy for Arteta to take Trossard off, then maybe taking a Jesus off or taking a Martinelli or a Saka off, even though he did today, because he's a new player. He's only been brought into the squad. But for me, Trossard hasn't put a foot wrong since he's joined the club. Very nimble, good on both feet, likes to have a shot, brings other players in, good vision. He's just a player that we need. He suits us right down to the ground, and we've been missing a player like him for a long time. Players like him, Samir Nasri was a bit like him. I'd say Santi Cazorla he's got a little bit of him to him. Santi was better than, in my opinion. I love Santi Cazorla, but he's got a little bit of it to him. Andre Arshavin had a little bit of that as well. We needed that. Thomas Rosiński even had a little bit of that as well. You get me? Good on both feet, nimble, got a bit of flair, good at dribbling. So it's disappointing that he doesn't get much more game time. I think he should. I think Arteta needs to look at who's in form rather than his favourites and play them. He's the guy in training. He sees who's playing well. Pick who is playing well. Don't just pick players off reputation, in my opinion. That's how I see. Someone says here, we're linked with Cancelo. I think Cancelo's a quality left back. But defensively, I'm not 100% sure on him. I think he's great going forward. And would he come to Arsenal right about now? I'm not too sure. Potentially, they might do a deal between Tierney and Cancelo. But in my honest opinion, I'd rather keep Kieran Tierney. A lot of people might say I'm mad, but I think we've got Zinchenko that can go forward and do what he needs to do up forward, but when we need a really defensive set left back, Kieran Tierneys, that guy, I think we should not be letting go of him 100%. But people, I'm going to have to leave it there. Go and tune in on Best of the Rest now on Saeed's channel. I'm going to jump on there, give my thoughts around the game and speak on Chelsea and a few of the other different teams as well. But peace and love. Make sure you're smashing a like on the video before you get out. Subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you on the next one.